All right, David, we kind of heard from Keith earlier on in the show. It seems like it's having a tough time sticking in some spots. What are you seeing for totals across the state right now?
Exactly, and that's along the coastline where we are and where Keith is as well. But we do have some mighty totals so far. Look at South Tamworth. I'm keeping that one on there. There are some new totals come in, but 10.5 inches already. Porter, 7.5 inches. Denmark at 5. East Baldwin at 2 inches, and South Windham at 1 inch. And we're continuing to watch this closely, especially along the coastline. That's where we're starting to see some rain mixing in. Look at the temperatures, though. They're really unimpressive for a snowstorm, right? You really want to see temperatures in the 20s. The only 20-degree reading I can find here on the map is Rangeley at 28 degrees, so there'll be all snow, obviously. Closer to the coastline, we're in the upper 30s. Rockland, Bar Harbor, 36 degrees. Portland at 33 degrees, and even Bangor at 35 degrees. You're about to get going with some precipitation soon. Lewiston at 32 degrees. Freiburg at 33 degrees. And again, these temperatures are pretty much going to stay where they are through the evening, and they'll drop a couple of degrees, especially inland location. Winds are out of the northeast, and we're seeing gusts up to 20, 30 miles per hour in some spots, but for the most part, they really not a factor. We're expecting stronger winds as this low pressure system gets its act together. It crosses over Cape Cod tonight, ends up into the Gulf of Maine tomorrow, and that's when we'll see things winding down as it goes into the Gulf of Maine and eventually into the Maritime Saturday night into Sunday. But before it does so, it's going to bring a good amount of snow inland. Right now, you can see right along the coastline, we have a rain snow line setting up, and we're going to watch that closely and see how it meanders back and forth. Sometimes these things tend to wobble. Right now, southern portions of the state, mostly rain. Cape Nettic, York Beach, and down over to Portsmouth, you have rain, but just go inland a few miles. Sanford, you're reporting some snow right now. Hollis as well. Portland, I looked out the window a few minutes ago. We're still spitting some snow, but it's the wet snow. It's really not amounting to too much. Got to go a couple of miles inland over to Sebago. That's where we're seeing some heavier spots. Over to Conway. These darker blues represent the heaviest snow. Rumford, Skowhegan, you're starting to see some snow developing over in your neck of the woods. Bangor, you're right on the line right now. You're expecting that precipitation to move in. It's probably going to start out as rain, but then kind of flip over to snow as things start to get going. We need to get that colder air in the upper atmosphere to fall with that precipitation. Bar Harbor, right now, you just got a couple of sprinkles out there. So we'll get you hour by hour. Starting out at 6 o'clock, we get the snow inland, rain along the coastline. Look at these temperatures. They do tick up. Portland over to Wiscasset, Bar Harbor, Rockland into the 40s, but we stay in the lower 30s inland locations right through the overnight. Then you'll start to see things starting to move towards the east. The rain snow line starts to sag and collapse towards the east as we get into tomorrow morning, and that's when the storm center is to our east. We start to see cooler air working in at all levels, and then by tomorrow afternoon we continue to see some light to moderate bursts of snow, and it's going to continue into northern parts of the state, central and northern parts, right through tomorrow evening and right through tomorrow night. We do have some winds to talk about. We have some gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour, especially along the coastline tomorrow afternoon, and then by tomorrow night things subside. This is the big map we're talking about. Jackpot inland. Freiburg, you're going to get hammered, but probably a foot or more of snow. Waterford, Rumford. But as you get closer to the coastline, you see that gradient just kind of drops off right as you get to York Beach, 1 to 3 inches, 3 to 6 inches, South Berwick, and as you move up the coast, Augusta, you are at 6 to 10 inches, and even into Greenville, Lincoln, we're expecting about 6 to 10 inches of snow. Bangor, probably end up with 7 or 8 inches of snow when all is said and done. And here's that 7-day forecast, and we are talking about some snow right into tomorrow night. Oh, I'm going to stick around and give you the forecast. Yep, expecting some snow right into Sunday, and then I'm going to give Keith an honorable mention. At the end of the week, we are watching something big. He wanted me to talk about it, so we're going to talk about that as we get into the holidays as well. So that's how things are looking. Stay safe out there and take it slowly out on those roadways. There's really no reason to be rushing out there.
All right. Thanks, David.